What's up, guys? So let me reorganize this. Didn't mean to do this one. We'll take care of that tomorrow. We got this one. Over. And there we go. Okay. Alright, so I was wrong with the gap down. Didn't happen. Yep. Kind of just slowly squeezed up overnight. Not the biggest fan of kind of overnight squeezes. What was our 3 o'clock? Really not the craziest movement since what China closed for lunch. Shot up and then kind of just sideways, but we are, let's see if SPY's over 380. SPY's at 381, so SPY did break 380. Let's see if it can hold. Let's kind of mark up our gaps. Alright, give me 1 second. Let me do one more thing. And then we'll go through the schedule. Okay, so key watches for today. The only thing I really see is the University of Michigan sentiment at 10. Hughes daily talks at close. So no no crazy no crazy speakers today. So kind of a relief there. So yes. We had yesterday a 3708 hold. Didn't get close to it, so we're pretty good there. 23, yep. 3843. We haven't hit yet. So we haven't hit our FOMC high. Then gap fill. So we've gotten all, here's our FOMC where we went down, we went up, and then we kind of rallied and then sold off the next day. We have filled all that volume, all that selling pressure. We have filled it all back, and we're just sitting kind of at the top. We're just consolidating. So main thing is, which way are we going to go? We do have this uptrend, like I was saying in my class. Um, we are making higher lows right now. Higher low, higher low. Our pivots are higher lows. Until we break that trend, we should continue up. So we have FOMC high. We kind of have then we kind of have this let's see if it's a 3-hour, 2-hour, maybe a 2-hour drop, base drop, or our FOMC high hit. So still could be possibly in the flag. But let's, we are making higher lows, and that's the main thing to watch. If you guys have problems with higher lows, you can do pivot points high low, and there's your high lows. You go lower time frame, gives you more pivots. We did break, kind of made a lower one there, but lower, higher, 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 lower, higher. We are making higher lows. So let's see. Our key watch is a FOMC high, and then of course we have the gap fill on ES, and we also have a pretty big gap on SPY, which everyone wants to fill, but we'll see how that happens. NQ has filled its gap, so NQ has filled its gap. So let's update that. NQ gap is filled. But the main thing here is we have a lot of selling pressure we could fill back in. Three-hour drop, base drop, and then we have this consolidation from the 9th, basically all the 9th. So we could break above here and squeeze up to here and probably reject. Monthly opens here. Main thing I'd love to see is see if we could hold this pivot kind of right. We'll say 11,750. Rejected here, came back up. Another rejection there, came back up, rejection, rejection. Was able to break through it. Only thing is overnight squeezes. I don't like overnight squeezes because the true players aren't really playing. So 11,750 hold slash bounce. But looking at NQ, we do have decent upside. We have a lot of price imbalances. Price imbalances. Do I say we stay bullish? Not sure. Not sure if we're gonna stay bullish. Just play it day by day, guys. Overall, I'm still bearish, especially towards the end of July. We're gonna have our GDP numbers come out, and if those are in a decline, we are officially in a recession. A recession, by definition, is when the GDP declines 2 quarters in a row. And that's when I think I'm still muted. No, I'm not muted. Okay, good. Don't waste my time. So that's when we are officially in a recession, is when our GDP numbers decline 2 quarters in a row, by definition. So, ow, 11,890 to 1,200, 3-hour supply. VIX, not really doing much. We seem to just be slowly going down. Let's see if we can hit kind of a demand down here and push up and officially break through this trend line. But VIX hasn't really been playing like I've wanted to, so I kind of haven't really been watching VIX as I normally do. Usually you can play VIX pretty, have your chart up next to VIX. Apple broke above here, broke above our 3-hour supply. We do have a gap above. For me, I only consider it daily gaps. Gaps, yeah, you can consider a kind of smaller time frame gap sometimes, if the low, like this is a time frame gap, but technically on the daily this is not a gap. It did come up, fill it, and then continue down. I don't really look at those. With Apple, my dog's in here. I don't know why. We do have this little downtrend. Not really looking at Apple, possibly just today. We just are in the middle of a 2-day. Go on, dog. Go, go, go on. My dog's 16. Um, Apple, we're just kind of looking at these two dailies. We're two daily, so we have a nice supply up here where we had a nice rally here, kind of based for 1, 2, 2, 3, 6 days, drop, and then we kind of based here, and then we pushing up. Hold on, I did a class last night, and okay. I uploaded the wrong video, and I woke up this morning with like 10 people messaging me. Um, Sorry, how to do that. So Apple, we're just looking at these two dailies. Nothing really looking very good in between. So we have a 2-day supply at 147, 2-day demand at 132. If you guys are watching, if you guys could like the video right now, doesn't take anything out of your YouTube account or anything, but I appreciate you guys if you guys would like this video. I'm trying to get it going and get more algorithm, get it out there. Appreciate it. So Apple, we're just in this little 2-day. We did have that up, that downtrend, whatnot. Nothing really crazy. AMD still staying. AMD is just weak, very weak. The only thing I'm really watching is this kind of the 85 area, which was former support. Let's see if that could keep resistance, or are we gonna have a retest on this kind of, this is a pretty decent Browning formation. This is what you want to look at for a Browning formation. Up, down, broke down. See if we can come back up, retest it, continue down. Appreciate you guys for liking. Meta, let me pull that up. Keep Meta in the back of your mind. They are, something's happening. Here's Meta yesterday. 729 and 175 calls were accumulated over time. Good, probably 3 million, 4 million right there. Keep that. Kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Overall, this chart does not look very good. We had that sell-off. We'll love, I have this pivot here at 160.79, 161. Let's go ahead and move that up to 161. What's up, Meta? 161 key level. Looks like we're having a strong push towards it. But then we gotta keep on watch of that sell-off. This sell-off area. So we had this like little accumulation and then a drop. You tell there's that 160, 161 key level when we're watching kind of 166. Lots of long calls purchased on that one. So definitely keep that. Keep that in mind. People are buying into this, accumulating. I know January 2004 had like a $30 million one. So watch out. Microsoft's been pretty strong. Looks like we're in the gap right now. But overall, this thing's kind of very choppy. If we do fill that gap, we are in that chop before our drop a couple weeks ago. And then even above that, we have about 3 weeks of chop to get through. So a lot of volume up here and a lot of volume down here. So definitely, let's look on the monthly. Our 3 month, we have a lot of volume here. Most of the volume has been traded at this 271 area. And then we have volume here. So, what's the date? 24th. Okay, but definitely very strong gap fill. I'm not looking at Microsoft unless it's a possible obvious play. You tell the kind of just this level right here, 255. You can tell it was a resistance, kind of a resistance here. Resistance, we broke above. Probably move right there. Broke above, retested it, and then now continuing up. We could go to 266. But I think, the big move, I mean, it's a pretty strong gap up, $3 gap up. Probably want to see what it does around this gap because we're going to gap the gap. I don't want to see it gap the gap because it's just creating, it's just keeping that gap there. So I'll start that. NVIDIA, very upset. I had a call for next week. Looks like we are breaking out. Kind of sad that I closed that and kept my SPY put, but all about risk to reward there. The profits from NVIDIA and the profits. Well, if I would have sold SPY, if I would have bought more than one, I could have sold SPY. Could have kept my SPY for basically nothing. But right here, we are kind of having that flag. We have that gap was filled, and then we have a gap there. Break it down, that 160 is just a huge level. We got calls off 160 yesterday. We do have a gap here. We had this 4-hour kind of doji demand yesterday. Pretty strong. Nice bounce. That's where I actually sent my buddy this chart when we actually were down here. I was out to lunch. I didn't get into it until about here when I saw that nice move up. Held that 160, continued up. That's when we got the call. So 160 is still a key level. Looks like we are breaking above that. Above that, I did sell. I saw a 1-hour supply right here. We came back up, touched it, basically rejected it a little bit, and that's why I decided to exit. You can see there's your rejection. Decent move off that rejection, actually. So with the flag, you want to see, 170.08, the top of the flag. And then, if we take our flag pull and then move it over here, 175. So those are our PTs. Of course, this 172 is another key level. I'm going to actually mark that up. So how is use support right here? Support, resistance, strong push above, resistance there. So NVIDIA, I think Microsoft I said last week was weak. Now we're strong. So NVIDIA 160 always key hold. Broke flag 172 key, then gap at 176. Tesla. Tesla was very interesting. So 729 was the key level. You know, we couldn't get it. Couldn't get it. Finally broke above it. Nice retest. That's what you want to see, but we couldn't hold. That's very interesting. We couldn't hold. Broke down. We had a nice bounce off that 786 right after open, which is another key level. And if you go back, here's support, 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 resistance. Broke above, support, support. Not really, not strong after hours. Not really moving after hours or pre-market. We do have a downtrend going. We kind of broke that downtrend. We have this downtrend. Oh, we kind of broke through it. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Tesla, we kind of did break that downtrend here. Came back pretty strong. Tesla's, I think, premiums are still inflated, so I'm not really looking at Tesla. We have Amazon making a strong push. We have 115.80, 116 area. Watch that level. I don't like that big line. The pivot here, here's our W. It's a good spot to get in longs when we break that previous pivot. It's always a nice long. Held. We've been holding that 100 area pretty strong. We have a gap above, so to start pools old, and then we have a supply up here at this pivot. So Amazon, yeah, not really going crazy. FedEx, let's see if FedEx is still going. Nice push, but sideways. Google, your stock split's coming up July 18th. Keep that in the back of your mind. Amazon did run up, before its actual split, and then Shopify is doing it right now. I want to move Shop up because I'm gonna start playing Shop when it splits. Shop kind of its splits on the 29th, but a decent run up to its split. Amazon, same thing. Here's its split. Decent run up to its split. Kind of keep Google. Possibly grab. Hopefully we have some few red days before July. Come back down here. Let's see it hit 2144, and definitely I'll look for like a 2400 call a couple weeks out. So you can have a nice run up into that split. Roku. High yesterday was my alert. My alert should be going off at open. Watch that 97.89. I want to see it hit that, hit our supply where we sold off really, really strong. Sold off 30%. So let's see if we get like a 10% sell off. We'll still bank on that one. So I like that one. Roku. 7.89 daily supply. I'm just gonna remove Amazon. What was Amazon's pivot? I'm just saying someone wants my ES chart. All right, some other stocks. Square had a nice push. I don't know where Square. I was looking at Square get down to 50 was really where I wanted it. Got pretty close. 56. I was watching 50 here. Square used to be fun to play. So fun to play. These strong moves up here. I used to love playing Square. You know, that was a perfect short. Broke through, retested it, continued down. Kind of want to watch that. Previous high down here. No, support, 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 resistance. Broke through, kind of a support here, come back down here. Decent support here, broke through. Let's see if it's going to be tested as a resistance if you want to play Square there. Affirm used to really be fun to play too. Snow, decent double bottom, 112 hold. Oh, this is all-time low, that's why. Just kind of look at a supply. Kind of have one here, but I don't like that bottom wick. A lot of accumulation right here. So that'd be a decent big area, but I'm not looking at snow. A lot of chop going through. Let's look at let's look at Ethereum because I am dollar cost averaging into Ethereum. Wish I would have just put all of it into it at once. I'd be up for pretty penny. I'm up $7 on $25, so that's not bad. But there, looking nice. Let's go to our indices or indexes or whatever you say it. Not really looking at real estate. Energy, XLE. That's old. Seems like we did pop from that weekly demand here. So we did hit that weekly supply. Wasn't tested here. Wasn't tested here. Finally tested. No possible push up. We have a lot of selling pressure. Possible daily supply here. We could come up to 72. Continue down. What's oil at? Oil's up 2%. Oil's weekly. You know, let's keep that uptrend a little bit. But really. Oil could be fun to play and not fun to play. XLK, which is technology, which you could just do NQ. I don't know why I was there. Consumer. This thing is not looking good. XLC communications. No, I won't play those. Utilities. I had this uptrend, kind of broke above. Kind of a nice double bottom here. There's your former resistance. Kind of support, 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 support. Can't wait for that breakdown. XLV Healthcare making a strong push. ABBV, I know a lot of people playing that. Procter Gamble, people made bank on that. Definitely a strong push. Let's see where it bounced from. It's a decent. We're breaking above this key level at 125. And then kind of 120, another key level. XLI, not really care about industries. XLF, nothing. Consumer staples, chart actually looks stronger than normal, or stronger than most. XLB. So, I mean, how my dog get in here? So, yes, we're still just kind of consolidating right in this supply. Which is our supply from our FOMC's overnight sell-off. And then right above it we have a supply, and then we have that gap fill with a possible supply here and a supply here. I thought I marked these up, but what's up, John? Some upcoming events. I'm trying to keep upcoming events in the back of my mind. The 24th, we have Twitter's annual shareholding meeting, which is going to be interesting. Next week, we have Baidu on the 27th. The 28th, we have Shopify's official split, 10 to 1. So Shop's going to be $36. I'm going to grab a few shares. Mongo, don't know what that is. And then to finish up, we have Shopify. I think that's their actual split where you get the shares. Yeah, okay, that's where. FedEx has an investors meeting on the 29th. Mongo, don't know. CrowdStrike on the 29th. Billy, no. And then CrowdStrike on the 30th. So probably a 2-day meeting for CrowdStrike. Bank's annual stress test was yesterday. They all passed. I got the biggest banks withstand severe recession scenario and Fed stress test. All banks tested remain above minimum capital requirements in worst case scenario. So they tested the worst case scenario on banks and they passed. So they used to move a lot better on that. Goldman Sachs kind of the only thing that's moving. If you guys are watching and not subscribed, if you guys subscribe for me, that'd be appreciated. Kind of went through everything. Kind of we're just sideways, just consolidating. Probably watch going into pre-market, see what, or the end of the pre-market, see what happens. Next week I will not be on. Won't be on Monday through Thursday. I'll be mobile. I'll be trading very light. I'm going to visit my mom. Visit my mom. Leaving Sunday at like midnight, and then coming back. Leaving there Wednesday, but we're trying to drive overnight because we have a kid and a newborn, so it's best to drive overnight. You know, to sacrifice our sleep for theirs. So I'm probably gonna just take Thursday off. Probably won't even trade Thursday. Just relax. I'll be back Friday. When's the first? The first is Friday, so I'm probably gonna trade end of Thursday. Remember June, end of June is the end of the quarter, right? January, February, April, May, June. Yeah, end of the quarter is June. If you go back to the end of January, February, March. And the March right here, what happened? Right before close, huge sell-off. Definitely, they sold end of quarter, down 1% in 4 hours. So that last day of the last quarter was a straight sell-off. So definitely keep that in mind going into this quarter. Might be a buy-in. You don't know. Not sure what they're gonna do end of quarter. You know, their books have to be balanced, whatnot for the end of the quarter. So definitely, you know, next Thursday, watch that. But that's gonna do it for me here, guys. I'm just doing pre-market again. Just keep on watch. You know, this overall kind of flag we're forming. We need to break above this strong, you know, FOMC high, and then our little run up after FOMC, and then we sold off overnight the next day. You know, we need to break above this strong sell right here. We kind of have this pivot from the 13th. Above that, we have that gap, but NQ did fill its gap. NQ is fully filled that gap that was created. NQ, I'd love to see 11750 retest and then continue up. That'd be a ideal situation right there. And then ES, what to downside? I really don't have, I really like this 4-hour supply here. Not tested, but that's a pretty decent way down. Other than that, I kind of have this little consolidation here. But not the best. So I'll just mark that up 2-hour. Right there at 3785. So I appreciate you guys for joining me this morning. Like I said, I'm not gonna be back till probably Friday. Definitely we'll be trading light next week. You all have a great rest of your day. Let's kill it today. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to DM me. I'm always there.